I think the taller, longer fighter with the better defense should be favored, and that's Boots, right? Because generally, that guy wins those fights. But it's a different thing than actually going out and beating Vergil Ortiz and doing it in style. If he
especially
fights
in that type of manner.
Who should be the favorite in that fight, Shady?
I'm going with Boots.
Favored.
Yeah. I'm going with Boots.
He should be the betting favorite.
Yes.
I think he will be.
I think he's more talented. He's better. Looks better. Yeah.
I think this is a genuine coin flip fight. I really do. And I think we have to remember that Vergil Ortiz has fought the much, much better competition.
That's true.
He beat Israel Madrimov. Very quality win. Madrimov gave Crawford all he could handle. And that was a fight where Vergil Ortiz had to come back from down on the card. So he showed real heart, real character.
Respected sports analyst Max Kellerman, alongside a leading boxing expert, takes an in-depth look at the possible blockbuster showdown between undefeated pound-for-pound stars Boots Ennis and Vergil Ortiz Jr. They break down the tactical battle, compare each fighter's technical abilities, and explain why this matchup carries enormous stakes for the future of boxing.
Mean Machine's a good fighter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he's fought and beaten good fighters, Vergil Ortiz. That's why I'm saying, guys, if this fight happens and Boots wins a close, tough fight, then he is at least what we think he is, right? What we thought he was. But if Boots can show real separation between himself and a dude like Vergil Ortiz, then he's a.
Although Eddie Hearn showers Jaron with praise following his outstanding victory over Xander Zayas, he immediately turns his attention toward Vergil Ortiz Jr. Hearn questions whether Vergil is truly ready to accept the toughest challenge of his career after spending such a long period away from the ring.
Maybe we fight Vergil Ortiz, and going back to the comments, as someone said, ask Vergil Ortiz if he'll take the fight next, because I don't think he will. And I'd be very surprised because, and by the way, I don't necessarily blame him because he has been out. When was the Lubin fight? I don't know. November last year. So, what are we now? 9 months, 8 months, 9 months. Time he gets in the ring again won't be till September, October. It'll be nearly a year since he's boxed. Are you going to go straight into Jaron Boots Ennis? If you are, let's talk. But realistically, I don't think you are. I think you're going to come back and you're going to go, I want one more fight, and then, which is fine.
Eddie Hearn leaves no doubt that winning a world championship will never become an excuse to avoid the biggest fight in the division. According to him, they are ready to make the matchup happen immediately because this is the fight that boxing fans have been demanding and the sport desperately needs it.
And by the way, we're also not going to sit here and go, we're the champion now. It's a voluntary defence, 15% for a voluntary defence, like you've seen Haney and all these people do. It's like so boring. It's a massive fight, and I can't sit there and tell you that we shouldn't do that fight when I spent 6 months telling you how much we need that fight and boxing needs that fight. So we must make Boots against Ortiz, but realistically, will he do it next? We'll speak to DAZN and Oscar, and if they want to go, we'll consider it with Boots for
Hearn
sure.
also dismisses the idea that anyone should have to beg for an opportunity to prove themselves. In his view, true greatness is demonstrated inside the ring, not through negotiations or promotional tactics. Instead of playing business games, he is putting out a direct challenge to see whether the other side is willing to accept it.
If Vergil Ortiz, who I respect and I like the guy, if he really, he should, where is he?
Right.
I would be crawling here tonight.
Senior said that you guys need to do more to earn a fight with him. Do you think tonight was enough?
Yo, what? I don't know what you talking about.
He said that.
Listen, I'm for. Listen. No, that was before tonight, right? Yeah. Listen, we don't need to prove nothing. We don't need to chase a fight with Vergil.
It was more than enough.
Yeah, okay. But what I'm saying, listen, we're not getting into that. What I'm saying is, listen, and I said this before Boots come in, we are not going to sit there with full of arrogance like some people would right now and say, tough luck Vergil Ortiz, he's the unified world champion, he's a superstar of the sport, get in line and take your 15% for a voluntary defence. That's what some people would say if they were arrogant. What we say is, we love the big fight.
Eddie Hearn explains that they were already prepared to take this dangerous fight even before championship belts entered the picture. Now that world titles are involved, the importance of the matchup has grown even greater. Their mission is no longer just winning another fight. It is about building a legendary legacy by defeating every top champion on the road to becoming the undisputed king of the division.
But we took that Vergil Ortiz fight. He signed for that fight, right? We took that fight for no belt. We took it for the fans to prove he was the best. Unfortunately for Vergil Ortiz, the team, everybody, Everett, Sean, we did an unbelievable job to land the unified world championship. And now he's the unified world champion. So, sorry Vergil, in a way, we want to be undisputed. But we don't rule out that fight. It's a big fight. But he's about legacy. As he said, it's the legacy tour. It's the IBF and the WBC to win.
Oscar de la Hoya responds with tremendous respect, describing Jaron as an incredible fighting machine while immediately calling for the fight to happen. He wants everyone to move beyond promotional disagreements and sign a contract, because he believes this will be the biggest fight in boxing today.
Boots Ennis, what a great fight. You are a machine. Zayas, a little inexperienced, but you will be back. You're a great fighter. Let's make the biggest fight in boxing today. Vergil Ortiz, Boots Ennis, let's go.
However, making this fight a reality is not as straightforward as many fans hope. Paulie Malignaggi points to legal and contractual issues that are currently preventing Vergil Ortiz Jr. from moving forward, creating uncertainty about when the fight can finally take place. Still, he believes the delay could actually benefit both fighters by making the eventual World Championship showdown even bigger.
Vergil Ortiz is being mentioned, but right now Vergil Ortiz is on the bench in a contract dispute with Golden Boy that may or may not last a while, but hopefully there can come a point where Jaron Ennis and Vergil Ortiz can't fight each other, because that would be a blockbuster fight. And guess what? Now that could be for a world title. That was one of my gripes about that fight when they were going to make it before, that it wouldn't have been for a world title. If Vergil Ortiz comes back and if Jaron Ennis holds on to these belts, that fight becomes a world championship fight, which I think gives it even more meritocracy, and it gives it the meritocracy.
Once the promotional drama is set aside and the focus shifts to the actual matchup, the discussion becomes even more interesting. While Boots impresses everyone with his athletic ability and exciting style, LeSean McCoy raises an important question about the level of opposition on his resume. The real challenge is determining whether his remarkable talent can overcome an opponent who has already proven himself in the toughest battles the division has to offer.
That's the real question. The question is, because Boots looks better, like he's slicker, he's more athletic, more talented, right? That's why we even talk about the comparison with the Crawford. The only thing is Vergil, he's fought better competition, right? And one thing about all sports, you got to go out there and play the game. You got to go out there and fight the fight. So we all love Boots because what he looks like, but that's the Vergil part, is like Vergil actually has fought some of the top competition.
Malik Scott believes boxing is witnessing a once-in-a-generation talent capable of dominating even the sport's elite fighters. In his opinion, Jaron's potential is so extraordinary that the very best competitors in the world could end up looking ordinary against him.
Have the ability to have the Roy Jones, Montel Griffin 2 type of performances, not just against guys of that quality, but even against guys of higher quality.
Comparisons to the legendary Roy Jones Jr. are rarely made lightly. Yet Malik Scott and Max Kellerman discuss whether Boots possesses the kind of ability that could produce that same level of historic dominance. Everything depends on whether he can deliver such a complete performance that even a world-class opponent is left with no answers.
Jones' potential, but I think Roy Jones at his best was the best I've ever seen.
That potential what Roy did to Montel in that second fight. Talk about performance.
Could do that to Vergil Ortiz?
I think guys that's great and good. That's all I'm saying, Max. Guys that's good. I don't think he could do that just to guys at that level. I think there's fighters out there that's considered almost great, above good, that Boots can do that too. I think he's that.
Max Kellerman says Boots has every tool a future superstar could ask for, including knockout power, outstanding boxing intelligence, and elite all-around skills. Even so, one major question remains unanswered throughout his career. How will he perform when he is forced into a grueling battle where everything is on the line?
What we need to know about Boots is we know he has size, length, speed, technique,
and poisonous,
technique,
high IQ,
all of that stuff, and punching power.
Yes, he does.
Both hands. We know he has all that. Now the question is, how does he respond to adversity? How does he respond to a tough fight? Does the gap between him and his opponent remain that wide as he fights top fighters?
Mike Coppinger points out that Vergil Ortiz Jr. has already faced serious adversity inside the ring. He has been knocked down, experienced difficult moments, and still found ways to win. That experience could become a major advantage against Boots, whose talent is undeniable, but who has never been tested in a demanding late-round war at the highest level.
Vergil Ortiz faced adversity. He got dropped against Sergey Bohachuk, came back, and it was a close fight. You could argue that Bohachuk would not fight. So I think Boots Ennis is more talented than Vergil Ortiz, yes. But if the fight does indeed happen next, and it's not close to being done yet, I do think that you have to give the experience advantage to Ortiz.
Even with those concerns, Max Kellerman believes the time for taking gradual steps is over. The pursuit of becoming the undisputed champion begins now, and Boots finds himself standing on the edge of greatness. The entire boxing world is waiting to see whether he can claim the throne without delay.
He said he's going belt hunting. He said that he's got to
going
start
on tour, he said.
Fighting good fighters, and not plausible good fighters, but the top fighters in the division that he's in. Immediately, he's there. There's nothing more to develop. He's ready to go. All right.
Roy Jones Jr. insists this is exactly the right fight at exactly the right moment. He believes fans have seen enough comfortable victories from Jaron and now need to discover what happens when he faces an opponent capable of exposing his true limits. In Roy's eyes, Vergil Ortiz Jr. is the perfect test to answer those questions.
Talking about Vergil Ortiz.
You better believe it. You act like you was up for the challenge. Everybody knows that like Boots said, it's time for him. Everybody wants to see Boots against a real opponent. Vergil, you're peaked right now. You're the best option to make us, to let us figure out all the answers that we want to know about Boots Ennis.
Sean Zittel and Sean Porter both observe that while Jaron has consistently looked impressive, his development may not have progressed as quickly as that of his rapidly improving rival. The biggest question is whether Jaron can finally reach his highest level or whether something has prevented him from making that final leap toward greatness.
I've long given the edge to Boots because he's a ridiculous talent, but Murataya Cruz, the corner matchup, made me go, huh.
The more time.
Robert's pretty confident about it.
The more time that has gone by.
Yeah.
We have not seen Boots in game growing. We have for
Vergil. Yeah.
We've seen Vergil become a better version of himself.
Yeah.
We've seen Boots be an amazing version of himself over and over and over and over and over. You know? And I think that there comes a time where amazing becomes magnificent. And I think he has the ability to become magnificent, but there's something there that's preventing that. I just think he's been just simply amazing. And I think that even for someone of his talent, of his stature, that the way he's grown in this thing, I think there's another level for him as well. And I don't think he's gotten there yet.
Sean Porter cautions that relying too heavily on athletic ability and flashy skills could become a costly mistake against such a disciplined opponent. Remembering advice from his own father, Porter explains that physical gifts alone are never enough when facing a fighter who combines speed, precision, and structure so effectively.
Yeah, man, Vergil looked really good against Lubin.
Yeah.
Boots is no Lubin. Boots is a different cut from that, respectfully, to Lubin.
100%.
But the way Robert is operating right now, he's on fire. And I wonder if some bad habits from Jaron Ennis catch up with him against a guy who's faster than you think, who may come out of the high guard, but fights with everything. He fights with velocity.
You get to a point where you have to be more disciplined. And I think that that's something that Boots lacks. My dad was drilling so much into me. One of the things that always resonated, or that I remember him always saying, that to me resonates with me as I comment on Boots. My dad would tell me, it can't always be just athleticism. You're not gonna always be able to win on athleticism. You're not gonna always be able to win with just speed. You're not gonna always be able to win with just power. We have to be able to mix it all up so that you have whatever you need at any point in time. And I think that we're looking at a Vergil who's very disciplined.
Porter also notices defensive weaknesses that could eventually become serious problems if Jaron continues, depending mainly on his natural reflexes. Observers have watched him absorb clean punches on several occasions, raising concerns that a more accurate and disciplined opponent may finally capitalize on those mistakes.
And while he, compared to Boots, looks basic, his basic style, his basic sharp package is very sharp. And I think it's, in some ways, for you, like for you and I, we look at it and we say, well, when we see some holes at certain points that could catch up with you, we could be completely wrong, and you just that much more talented on that night, and it just is what it is. But for us, we're looking at it like, hey, man, we want you to be 100%, and this is the deficiency we see. I think that he relies too much on his athleticism, and sometimes it gets him put in a position where other guys have never been able to capitalize on it, and even the ones that did, it was like, okay, yeah, he got hit, okay, yeah.
Shawn Porter reminds everyone that he previously advised slowing Jaron's development to allow him more time to mature as a complete fighter. He believes all of that explosive talent must be carefully controlled and directed. Without proper discipline, that energy could work against him and leave openings for devastating counterpunches.
You guys are saying now what I was saying a long time ago. Hey, let's slow down. Let's let this kid grow. Let's get him in. Yeah, everybody was saying I was hating. But now everybody says Boots ain't this and Boots ain't that, and he get hit too much, and he ain't got no defense. And once upon a time, he was going to smash everybody. And now people saying, oh, yeah, you know, Terrence will wipe him out. Well, what about what y'all was saying years ago? I was telling y'all to slow down, and now y'all are seeing all that athleticism has to be, like we were talking about Teo, it has to be confined and honed and created this thing so that on fight night it goes boom and it blossoms, not boom and it goes everywhere, and at any point in time you can catch it. You know what I mean? It has to be boom and there's nothing stopping it.
Shawn Zittel expects an action-packed battle in which Jaron's outstanding body attack from multiple angles will put one of boxing's strongest defenses under serious pressure. At the same time, the matchup promises non-stop excitement because Vergil possesses the hand speed and technical accuracy needed to answer back during intense exchanges.
One thing that interests me in this fight would be his body punching. I think Boots is a nasty body puncher, and he'll hit you from different angles with both hands and both stances. You know, Vergil is the come forward Mexican-American fighter with the high guard. Maybe it's here when he's up here. Boots is a nasty body puncher. I'll tell you what, man, that's going to be a very exciting fight, a very explosive fight. Vergil has the hand speed to compete with Boots in the exchanges the way other fighters he's fought haven't. Keeps everything tight and come back, and it's technically sound.
Zittel stresses that Jaron should avoid showing off his full arsenal too early in the fight. Instead, he should stay patient, establish control with a consistent jab, and remain disciplined. Once he settles into his rhythm and successfully handles Vergil's power, his unpredictable switch-hitting style could become extremely difficult for anyone to solve.
But Boots, if he could take the power well and get into a rhythm in that fight, he starts hitting from both sides of the plate everywhere. That athleticism is a problem.
Yeah.
The jab is going to be key for him in that fight out of both stances. He's going to have to fight behind his jab and not just get to the bag of tricks early. He's going to have to fight honest behind his jab and discipline. But if he can, I think that body attack could be very interesting coming Vergil Ortiz's way from Jaron Ennis. I mean, if the fight happens in April, we could discuss.
What are your thoughts on this incredible matchup? Who do you believe walks away with a unified championship if these two undefeated stars finally meet inside the ring? Will Jaron Boots Ennis use his incredible athletic ability to deliver a career-defining performance? Or will Vergil Ortiz Jr.'s relentless pressure and disciplined approach expose the defensive concerns so many experts have pointed out? Can Eddie Hearn successfully bring this massive fight together? Or will promotional disagreements and Golden Boy's legal and contractual issues force fans to wait even longer? How do you think Jaron will respond if Vergil lands his trademark power shots and drags him into a grueling battle during the championship rounds? Does Vergil's proven ability to recover from adversity and climb off the canvas give him a psychological advantage over an opponent who has never faced that kind of pressure? Share your predictions and opinions in the comment section below.